Hello everyone, it's me Sarah, welcome back to my channel. I was supposed to vlog for like the entirety of Camp NaNoWriMo. I didn't do it this week, like at all. Mostly because I just didn't feel like it. I got to Wednesday the 8th and I was like, right, let's get some work started, and I was like, I'm not bothered to point my camera at myself and record what I'm doing because honestly I'm just revising, so it's sort of like I wasn't bothered to do it, but sort of also like that's not going to be very interesting, just me like making changes to my manuscript as I go. Like that's not interesting for people to watch, so I just didn't vlog. So instead it's the 14th currently, so it's I suppose officially the last day of the second week of Camp NaNoWriMo, and I'm just going to sort of do a little mini vlog slash tell you how I did for this past week in one quick video, because that's all I'm bothered to do at the moment, I'm afraid. I'm terrible. We ended Camp NaNoWriMo week 1 on 7,000 words, so I ended up doing 1 chapter per week for the first week. I am just about to start revisions on chapter 17. So this past week, not including today, I have done 9 chapters. But I've won Camp NaNoWriMo. I've done my 12 chapters. I won on like day 10, which I didn't think was going to happen. So now my job is to get as far as I can with revisions as possible. That's my new goal. Not changing it on the Camp NaNoWriMo website, it's my personal goal. So I want to have stayed 1. I don't know how I feel about that, because on the one hand, the fact that I am ahead of myself, the fact that I am going quite quickly through these revisions for me is really, really good, because I went into this thinking I'd struggle to do 12 chapters. That was what I was thinking, because of my mindset and going into this, like I really shouldn't have done Camp NaNoWriMo this month. Like I realise I've been so tired and so off this entire month, but the revisions aren't as difficult at the moment, I should say, as they have been, so I've been sort of speeding through them, and on the one hand it's really good, but on the other hand it's like, how much am I actually half-arsing these revisions if it's not taking me that long to do them? And I have to sort of sit and stop and go, well, this revision is mostly supposed to be about fixing the plot and I suppose the timeline as well, and making some adjustments to character and to arcs. It's not supposed to be a deep dive revision. So I'm sort of like, that's my excuse that I'm giving myself so I don't feel bad about not doing this properly, as it were. I'm fixing the plot, and not a lot of plot has needed fixing. I need to add a few mentions of characters before a certain point in the story so that plot point makes sense. I need to add something into the plot in order to sort of create more tension and stuff like that. So it's not massive changes that I need to make, and so far I haven't needed to make any massive changes at all. That changes with chapter 17 though, because now I have to cut up in half chapter 17 and then add an entire new chapter, and then add the end of chapter 17 onto the end of the new chapter to then go into what would then be chapter 19. So we are about to hit the big thing, which I'm debating on doing properly or not. I say it. The first half of chapter 17 is fine. I need to keep that relatively the same. The second half of chapter 17, which would be chapter 18, is brand new stuff, which I think I might put off doing and writing until my live stream tomorrow, which would be today when this is posted, and just do all of the writing, the new stuff during the live stream, during the writing sprints, because that's going to force me to do it. Me sitting here is not going to force me to do it, as we've proven very much so with vlogging in the past. A camera on me does not help me do my work, which it should, but it does not. So let's bring up my manuscript and I'll show you what I've done, basically. We're just going to do that. So at the moment, please excuse the light that keeps popping up at the back. I don't know where it's coming from and it's annoying me. So we left off at chapter 7. So what I've been doing, and I've been doing it more and more, and I'll show you how terribly I've been doing it. I've been highlighting stuff yellow, stuff that I need to go back and fix, which, to be fair, I might do today, as well as the first half of chapter 17, just so I can sort of catch up on all of these, because some of them aren't that bad, but chapter 10 is awful. So the entirety of chapter 10 at the beginning, which, to be fair, I don't think I've actually even finished chapter 10, I had to change. I needed to add a scene. I didn't actually add the scene, come to think of it. That all needs work. Then here, in this lovely space here, I need to actually add the next half of this scene up here, because Kinley meets a fairy, and I didn't write it because I wasn't bothered. And then the rest of this is the bottom half of the scene, which I also need to work on and add that character to. So there's a big chunk at the beginning of chapter 10 which I haven't done, even though I did mark that chapter 10 had been finished. But it's me half-arsing and cheating a little bit, I suppose. And then everything else is just small little bits here where I need to add character inner thought that I couldn't quite think of at the time. Part of my prep for CampNaNoWriMo was supposed to be to go through the entire first 12 chapters of my novel and revise them on paper, so I could then do it on screen. I only ever did up to chapter 11. So because I've done that, I'm to the point now where I have to revise a few chapters on paper every couple of days, so I have stuff to work from to keep going with all of the revision, which is so frustrating. It's not terrible, it's just frustrating, because I'm like, I should have already done this before, and now I'm half-assing it more in the manuscript than I really wanted to. But I uncovered some plot holes while I have been doing my reading, which I would have caught earlier if I'd have read them earlier, obviously. But I caught some plot holes which I have been working on. Obviously, most of these plot holes involve me adding stuff into previous chapters, and those chapters are chapters I have already revised. So there's parts of chapters that are also not done, not massive. It's a few mentions. There's a part where in chapter 15 or 16, I think, Kinley knows a piece of information which she has not learned because of the plot hole. I haven't added it in. So there's things like this in the brackets that is the mention of this character and this piece of information that she needs to know. Is the revision going as detailed as I want it to? No, it's not. Is it going as well as I want it to? Yes, it's going better than I wanted it to. It's going better than I thought it would. I've only got like 8 chapters left now to revise before I've completely finished the revisions for the novel, half-assedly, obviously, which I don't know, just feels really weird, because I can't. I always think in my head it's going to be harder than it actually turns out to be, and that just gets me worried that I'm not taking it as seriously as I should be and as I want to. But that's just a constant in my writer life, really, that I'm not taking it as seriously as I want to take it, or I should be taking it. But I'm just focusing on the plot, and a little bit of character, and I can go from there. I don't even think I've been focusing on the timeline. That's really bad. So today, for the rest of today until I have work, I want to do the first half of chapter 17. We'll get that done, and then I want to start working on the yellow in the previous chapters, and I will save the new edition for chapter 18 until my live stream tonight. And okay, that's what we're gonna do. That is what we are going to do, and yeah, let's just get to it. I've just noticed wherever I don't know what I've done there. I'm somehow still stupidly unsure of the timeline in my novel, which is a real pain in the butt, seeing as I meticulously added the timeline here in my manuscript. But I still don't know. I still don't know. I think we're 2 days until this whole thing goes down. I'm not sure. So at the moment, every mention of how long it is until the spring equinox, I just highlight. I'm just like, this is where I mentioned how long it is to go. Like, fix it. But yeah, I don't know if it's right or not. I think it is. I want to hope it is. But I'll have to go through and double check and make sure that I have actually got my days right, which is something that can happen at a different day. So 5 minutes I've spent revising chapter 17 and I'm already done with it. Didn't need much revision at all. I found that I've needed less revision for the more tense-filled scenes, I guess, than I thought I would, or I thought I did. A few bits of adding some feeling, and yeah, we're done with that, at least for now. I won't call the chapter finished because I still have some stuff to do. I need some stuff to add. So everyone's just found out. She's understandably upset that everyone's upset with her. She doesn't like that she's been reprimanded, and she doesn't like this feeling that she's feeling. She doesn't quite know what this feeling is. And I think from there I'm going to go to people not talking to her the next morning, and she's upset by it. And then we're going to go into Jack, who is not upset by it and is curiously fascinated by this entire thing and won't shut up talking to her about it, and have that in there. And then that will lead into chapter 18, which again is new stuff. I should write this down actually so I know what my plans are. Okay, I've written down what I want the rest of chapter 17 to be, which I will write tomorrow. And then I know what I want chapter 18 to be. It's already done, it's decided. And then I'll write the rest of chapter 18 also tomorrow, today. I feel unfulfilled. I feel like I haven't done any work today at all whatsoever. It's only 20 past 10 in the morning. I've done 5 minutes worth of work and I don't like it. So what we're going to do now is, until baby wakes up at least, we will work on the yellow, and I'll call that half a chapter. I'll call it half a chapter. Okay, right, so let's drink my tea. Let's get some warm tea, and yeah, let's get to work. Okay, so that is my morning of work officially over now, because baby is awake. I just need to go and get her out. We have done chapters 1 through 7 of yellow changes, done and dusted. Most easy changes, really, to be fair. A little bit more description, a little bit more inner thought, so it wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be, knowing me. We have done the first part of chapter 17, and I'm going to update the NaNoWriMo website now. We'll update it 500 words because I only did half of chapter 17, but it's done, it's dusted, it's updated. We have also, I have also, the royal we, sorted out my timeline. I'm a day off. It's not too bad. I just need to go through and find all of the references I make to how long they've got left, which if I just search for a number, that should help me out, right? The entire book spans 10 days. 3 of them in the fairy world, 4 of them in the fairy world, and 6 of them in the human world. So at least now I know what the timeline is, and I know where I need to make the changes. Most of the references that I have are highlighted, so I can just go through and look for the highlights if I need to. I've also written down what chapter the days occur in or begin in, so I can go straight to that chapter, and I'll know if I'm on chapter 12. It's 4 days left to go, etc, etc. So I still feel like I haven't done much work, to be fair, which isn't terrible. It's not a bad thing that I don't feel like that, but it's a bad thing that I feel like that, because then I feel like I've not been doing much. But you can't have it both ways, I suppose, can you? No, you can't. It's my tea gone cold. It's drinkable. It's drinkable. Anyway, so that was my last week of CampNaNoWriMo. That was the 8th to the 17th. We got 9.5 chapters done and dusted, some yellow stuff done, and a timeline sorted out. Let me know down in the comments below how your CampNaNoWriMo is going, and I will see you next time. Bye.